I learned a lot. It was more to become street smart because of what I was going through at home, and at school with the bullying, and to get bullied at school and then come home and I felt, my experiences, I was bullied too by my parents. And that could be because of the way I looked. And that what does it mean when I say the way I look? I'm a very slim girl. So to get bullied at school because you're so slim, and then to come home and get bullied about being slim again, or the complexion of your skin by one of your parents on certain occasions. And I'm not condoning it to say that it was okay, but as Caribbeans, you hear your black like, like, and maybe from a Caribbean side, they're thinking it's not that bad to call someone that, or yes, homaga. Oh, I hate that one too. So
Yeah. You ready?
I am.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you for joining me on the Long Story Short podcast. And I know this is take three. We've had a reschedule. We've had Sophia forgot to press record, and now we're doing take number three. And I've made sure that it is recording right now. So welcome, Jessica, again
Thank
to
you
the
for
long
having
story.
me.
Oh my
Thank you for
goodness.
having me.
Yeah, and as I say to each and every guest, and I'm going to repeat it because this is going to be recorded, I want to thank you for your time because you are a busy business owner, okay, of two
Hmm.
bar salons, okay, and just want to thank you for your time, and giving me the opportunity to hear and to share your long story short.
Definitely. I'm here.
You're here, you're here. So, where are you recording from today?
I am home in Canada.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm home in Canada.
Nice, nice. And it's all about you now, Jessica. Okay. We're now going to dive into your long story short. And the first question that I always ask my guests, my wonderful guests, is who they are. And I feel that is a foundation of you then sharing the rest of your long story short. So if somebody never knew you, do you know what I mean? And you had to introduce yourself, who would you say Jessica is?
She is a party girl. She's a night owl, and she's a hard worker. She's a hustler. I'm not a party girl anymore. I party in the bed, club pillow. But they would also say she's a good friend, and um, I'm also a good wife. And I'm open to being better. I have a lot of work. And I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, and yeah, I think that's what they would say.
Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
I just love that, to hear how people would describe themselves, because I believe that particular question, intro question, is a way for us to unravel into the next part of the long story short, thinking about childhood, because if I think about my long story short, which I will soon share to everyone, I also go back to my childhood and think about what it was like for me growing up. So let's go back to childhood. And you said you grew up in Toronto, is that right?
Hmm.
Okay, okay, okay.
North
So
York to be exact, but yes, Toronto. Hmm.
Toronto. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Brothers and sisters.
Yes, I have, it's five of us total. I'm the second, and yeah, three brothers, one sister.
Okay, nice one.
Yeah.
So where's your family background
Mhm.
from?
My parents are Jamaican, and I'm born Canadian. Um, yeah,
Okay, nice one. Because I remember
yeah.
when we were having a brief conversation about your particular long story short, and we touched on aspects of your childhood. So, with regards to that, what was it like growing up for you in the early days?
And I'm so sorry, Sophie. When you're asking me questions, I'm just like going like this. I had one of my brothers died in 2012, so
Oh.
he passed. So essentially there's two brothers. I'm like thinking about this when you ask questions, and I'm like, it's not that I was lying. I was just going based off of the
No,
numbers, but
oh,
it's
I
like, yeah,
get that. So you still have a brother.
yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah. I still have my two brothers are left, and one of our brothers passed in 2012. Yeah. He was a basketball player in the community. I feel he would have been pretty big if he were still alive. But yeah, he passed during the game, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a game.
Mm.
Yeah,
Boy,
that was a
breathe
lot.
out again. Breathe out again, innit?
Yeah, yeah. Your questions get me.
Oh my gosh,
It's
man.
okay. They're like this, like
Oh no. This episode is no joke. I mean, in terms of, as you said, the questions that are asked, and the reason why I started Long Story Short, it became apparent months later after I started Long Story Short, Jessica. The reason why I'm starting it is because of people like you. You understand
Mhm,
what I mean? It's like people like the Stanburys and other guests that I've come across is because I'm just so keen to share varied types of personal stories, highlighting how resilient people are. Because people, I hope, that will find value in all these episodes and know, oh my gosh, Jessica went through this. I went through something similar, and they can draw
mhm.
strength from it.
I'm here. I am honored. And yeah, take your time with me. Just be patient with me. I'm present.
Mm.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. And I am.
Mhm.
You know that I am, isn't it? Virtual hugs
I
and
know
all
you
that. You
are.
understand what I'm saying to you? Virtual
It's
hugs,
interesting
man.
that you bring up your why, because last night, I was thinking about this with my husband. I was just like, I wonder what her why is. And I was like, well, I could just go on her YouTube, but I didn't because I was focused on doing this. But I am interested in hearing your why.
Yeah,
Look
it
forward
was
to hearing that.
yeah, it will soon be shared. I can't even
Hmm.
speak about it now, but yeah, it will soon definitely be shared. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you for confirming that it's not on YouTube yet.
No, it's not on YouTube yet. No.
There you go, on your
It'll be
on your
episode, do you know what I
on your
mean?
channel.
Featuring Sophia Lewis, you know what I mean? The reason, her long
Mhm.
story short. So, yeah.
It's 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 nice to hear you say that, because when I went into massage therapy, I never wanted to receive a massage, and it was because of how I felt about my body. I was just shy, nervous, and I remember the teacher said, "Well, you're not going to pass this class if you don't receive a massage, because you need to understand how it feels in order to give." And I was like, so I eventually did receive a massage, and obviously you're so nervous in the beginning, and then now I love massages.
It's interesting that you brought up about massages, that you didn't like to be massaged, but now you are a business owner and you've got two venues, do you know what I mean? And you've got
Yeah,
staff
yeah.
and you've got all those things going on. So what truly inspired you to get into the health and well-being industry?
Um, this one is now it's easier to answer that. It's the industry of massage for me, and now it's triggering a massage. It's therapeutic for me. So getting the honor to either I'm touching someone during massage or I'm working with them through hair removal, it is an honor, because it's a very intimate service, both of them. So if someone can open up their body, whether they're in the nude or I'm working with their down south area, that's quite vulnerable, right? And for them to be in a position like that, and they're either hoping or praying that someone like me, an esthetician, is not going to laugh at them or make them feel worse leaving. I always hope and strive to make people leave more confidently, and during the process feel very respected, safe.
When we had our previous conversation about this, Well, I think it was take two, take two, last week, take two. And you were talking about how you would massage your dad's feet.
Yes, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
That too, that is a stem of me being interested in massage because I did it well, but like you have a Caribbean background, as do I, and we got a part of discipline, so to say, is if you did whatever wrong, it could be when you come home, you're going to massage your father's feet or so, you know what I mean, like that type of thing. And it's like I know that other kids I grew up with were like and I was just like okay, and I would do it, and I was interested in it. And my father was a farmer, and he didn't have the best looking feet, but I didn't care because I was just wanting to make sure I did a good job, because if I did a good job, it meant praise from your parents, so to say, right? So I wanted that. Yeah. So
Mhm.
massaging his feet, um, I guess yes, it's definitely why I am doing what I'm doing today, because I know I do it very well. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there were times in my past with my parents where I don't know what I would have massaged on my mother, but I just remember my father's feet though, or my parents' back.
So the massaging was part of disciplining you. So was that like a central theme in your childhood as you was growing up?
There's different forms. I think our parents use the different forms based on what you did wrong, and it could be maybe um, the time I took money from my parents' wallet, be it mother or father, or came home late, or uh, stayed after school later than I should be, or went to a friend's house. I don't know about your Caribbean background, but in our house, you were not allowed at no one's house, and no one was allowed at your house. So if you said you were playing soccer late, but then in reality you were at someone's house till 7 p.m., there was different forms of discipline, and it could be just that, like massage the feet, do the dishes, clean the house, mow the lawn, wash the car, whatever it was, right? But because those were the forms of discipline, you were probably like, I like washing the car. I don't know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that thing again that led me to do it, because whatever, washing the car, massaging feet, doing the dishes, right? You just repeated the bad thing, so to say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot because as growing up for myself, I had to obviously ask permission from my mum, whether
Same,
I could, go and visit whoever, the friend on the
same.
estate. And, my mum would have known that parent as well. But the majority of times, a lot of my playing out times was on the estate or in
Hmm.
there was like a massive playground in front of the estate that we lived, so she always be able to see me. But any
Oh, okay, okay.
time came and I'm not back, I would hear Sophia,
Oh, wow.
Sophia, Sophia. And my friends would say, like 5, 10 minutes later, I heard your mum calling you. Really? You know what I mean? Let's get back home type of thing. Sophia. I tell you, man, seriously, those were good. When I look back, I definitely have to laugh. I really have to.
Yeah, we have to laugh.
Mm. You have to laugh it
I would
out.
have been laughing.
Yeah, I have to laugh it out because I really tried to, you know,
Mm.
extend the time of play. That's what I try to do, as we all done.
Yeah,
You get what I mean?
yeah.
All done. Oh my
I
God.
won't let that one go.
No.
Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia. Sophia.
Wow. Man.
Oh my God. So what was it like growing up in your home?
Um, um, we had what was a traditional home. Like I had the two parents. They both worked, coming to Canada. My mom ended up being a driver instructor at some time, and my father went from factory work to a butcher to a school bus driver. So he was a hard worker, and despite that, I don't have a current proper relationship with my parents. I feel like the relationship has dissolved. I still am able to grab the gems from what I saw my parents, the hardworking parents, and that, it did mean a lot to me that I saw both of my parents together, even though I didn't get what I wanted from two parents being together as a child. I still admired what they had as a couple. So that was really cool to see. And, it is what it is. Uh, I'm from I was gonna say a community, but in Toronto, it's the hood jungle. Um, so I'm from like the Yorkdale Mall area, and behind that area was known as Jungle. So that's where I'm from. And then originally from before that, it was Jane and Finch. I don't know if you hear about that area. Sometimes you guys in UK hear about certain parts over here, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, I essentially went from hood to hood to hood. And then so yeah, growing up there, I learned a lot. It was more to become street smart because of what I was going through at home, and at school with the bullying, and to get bullied at school and then come home and I felt, my experiences, I was bullied too by my parents. And that could be because of the way I looked. And that what does it mean when I say the way I look? I'm a very slim girl. So to get bullied at school because you're so slim, and then to come home and get bullied about being slim again, or the complexion of your skin by one of your parents on certain occasions. And I'm not condoning it to say that it was okay, but as Caribbeans, you hear you're black like, like, and maybe from a Caribbean side, they're thinking it's not that bad to call someone that, or yes, homaga. Oh, I hate that one too. But it really would hit when those words were said, because I am Canadian born and growing up Canadian in a Jamaican household. To hear those things as a Canadian child, it did hurt more than when I used to share this stuff with Jamaican born kids. And they're like, oh, that's nothing. They would just kind of throw it off. Like it's just they're so used to it, right? But I didn't like it. And so yeah, that did really hurt because it's kind of like you had anything that happens at school that was negative, the more that I came home and it was like the same thing, it did take away my trust in my parents to tell them a lot of things. So then you do seek different avenues of where you can share stuff with, and it could be like a seasoned friend, like a more mature friend, or whatever in your life. So yeah, we presented the mother, father, hardworking parents, the cars in the driveway, the house, all the kids. And we were the kids that kind of generally had our head down like this because we were so obedient. You're not supposed to be generally looking people in the eye, like I'm doing in this podcast, not looking the audience in the eye. So yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. It takes conversations like this. And so for me, everything does come into what I do now for work. So with massage therapy, professionally, you're not supposed to be commenting on anyone's body because they're supposed to associate that session on the table as I'm getting a massage. That's it. You don't know how they can take you complimenting on their body. However, during sugaring, when I do work with my clients, and when I say down south, I mean the Manzilian, the Brazilian. And in that area, because it's so intimate and, people are nervous, shy. If it applies, I take the honor of telling my clients, your skin is beautiful down here when it is. And I let them know, like, whatever you're doing, keep it up. And, some of my clients will be like, really? Whoa, what's bad skin? Well, we do have people that come in where there's a lot of pimples, bumps, hyperpigmentation, and it's because they are going about hair removal wrong. Maybe they're shaving with the stick shaving, and it's a bad contaminated stick from home that they're leaving on the shower. They don't realize that it's, accumulating germs or whatever bacteria. So those people do have a lot of discoloration down there and issues going on down there that can add to why they may even have a smell. So then that allows me to educate them, and say these are the products that you could use. A lot of people are like, They fly for these high name brand products. But at the end of the day, black soap, coconut oil, perfect. That's all you need down there. You don't need all these added products that have perfumey, smells and stuff like that. Coconut oil, black soap. Major change will happen down there, especially with us as females with our pH balance and such. We shouldn't be, that's another conversation, but we shouldn't be putting a lot of things down there that I see a lot of women doing, right? Yeah.
No, that's true. I feel that it's important for us to have conversations around um, how people are treated, especially culturally,
Mhm,
and how we are brought up. Because just because it was done at this time doesn't mean it is current and it should continue on now. Because
mhm.
times have changed, and we must understand that um, there's power in the tongue. Do you know what I mean? And we
Yes,
must be
there is.
careful. We must be very careful and very observant into what we say and how we say certain things. So
Yeah.
if you was like to think back about how you were treated in your home growing up, how has that impacted the woman that you are today?
Ooh, I am very stronger because when I was younger, I cried at anything you said. It could be the way you looked at me, the tone, anything someone said, or how they looked at me, I would cry. I was that person. It was like, I think the word is fenke, when you're so easy to cry. I can't even remember all the expressions that was used against me when I would cry so easily. So oddly enough, how I was treated by my parents and people at school, it did make me stronger today. So it's weird because if I didn't go through what I went through, not that I liked going through what I went through, I wouldn't have become as forgiving as I am now, where people can interpret that as they're walking all over you. I may give people three, four, five tries. Doesn't mean I'm allowing them to walk over me. I'm just trying to see, can they change? Can they change? Can they change? It won't go past the five, whatever times, but I am more forgiving. I'm more calm, and this kind of dives into my husband because of him, it's why I'm more calm. Um, I'm more, I'm less angry. I used to be very angry. um, I'm more forgiving. Uh, wow. What else am I? And I just kind of feel like I approach things like a guy because men get over things easier and faster. And I wish I could think of an example with you for you, but I just feel like me hanging out with more majority men too, or having a lot more men in my life, the way when you pitch, when you share something with them and the way they just conclude on, yeah, well, just get over it. Like it's done, right? She said sorry, right? You're like, yeah, she did. But like women want to be like, but this. And it's just like, men, it's like, just get over it, just move on. It's like, fine. So it is really that easy. And as women, we do need to just take a deep breath, let it go. It's hard, and we have to be honest with that when it is hard because it is hard. But letting it go does feel good. And if the let go results in persons not bringing it back up to use it against you, that's the true gem of that situation. It sucks that, when I did turn to my parents about certain stuff and they used it against me in other surroundings of other adults or my friends, that's when I was just like, whoa, I can't tell you stuff anymore. And you're not going to let that go. So, and I can't be around you anymore either because you keep bringing that up to bring me down. Like you're not allowing me. I realize what happened, whatever it was, but you keep bringing it up in a way to tear me down when I'm actually up here and I'm feeling good. Like they were using it as like a dagger. you know, 5 years later, you're good. Da-da-da-da, dagger. So you're still gonna bring that up? Right? And usually men don't do that. Usually they don't. Yeah. So I'm different now. I'm proud of me. and I wish I had someone like me in my life when I was younger. And for the young people that I have in my life, I try to be for them what I wish I had, if that makes sense.
Mm. It does make sense. It does. So you said such a lot of profound statements there, and I just want to really highlight
Sorry,
one
Sophie.
thing. You really got me thinking now, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know what I mean? Throw the
Yeah.
script away. Do you get what I mean? Forget these questions. Um, the defining moment, because you talked about you are more forgiving and you're slow to anger. So when was that defining
Yeah.
moment in your life that you said, you know what, I'm going to forgive my parents? When was that?
The parents, I'm 40 plus now, and I feel like I did forgive my parents when I moved out at 19 because I was like, I'm done. Obviously, things still kept happening, and I mentally divorced them. Like, my parents, if I see you, hello, goodbye, whatever. But I wasn't gonna do anything that ooh, the light just went out, it
Yeah,
died.
I
But are
saw
you still
that.
okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Um, but I wasn't gonna do anything that where it was me initiating to be around them because I knew what being around them did to me. And, um, I've only had two moments in life that I can remember where I did come to thoughts of suicide. And one of them had to do with the fact of being around my parents. It just kept driving you down this negative, negative, negative of whatever they were saying to me or bringing up or using against me, you know? Whew. So I want to make sure I answer your question properly. I feel like when I moved at 19, they were forgiven because I concluded that they are just dealing with their own imperfection. So sadly, I'm going to use this example. Some people can't help to be an alcoholic. That's just them. Like I saw it as a learned trait. Yeah, that's how I saw it then, but I didn't use that verbiage then. I know now to use that verbiage. I've learned trait because that's what narcissism is, but that's another conversation. Um, so yeah, at a young age, I realized like that's just them and I can't live life trying to use it against them. It sucks, it hurts because I want a different experience. I wanted a different experience. I felt like I deserved a different experience when it came to parents because when people are like, "Oh, you have both parents," they're thinking The Cosby Show, or I don't know, Family Matters, or Fresh Prince. But it wasn't like that. And I know that's just TV, but I'm just saying for what we've presented of what two parents can give you, or do for you when you have them both, that wasn't necessarily my experience. So, anyways, I didn't use the negative I went through to hold me down. I used it to say, I'm going to be different. I'm going to treat people I meet different. And that took time too, because a lot of the times when I look back at relationships and friendships that I had, the negative I went through at home, it appeared in the friendships or the relationships. So if something didn't last or friends were bringing up certain things about my personality, obviously just like, shut up, like whatever, what are we talking about, But you get older, experiences, and if enough people say something about you, sadly, it may be true, right? Because you can't always believe that either, too. Enough people saying something negative about you could be that a bunch of people are just jealous of a person too, right? But yeah, I applied so much more being slow to anger, especially when I got into business publicly. And I say brick and mortar because I was a mobile massage person for years, 19 to 30 years plus. And then when the brick and mortar happened, we realized staff are going to do things that piss you off. And I always just had this thing with me that I'm never going to yell at anyone. I'm not going to make anyone feel small because it's not worth it. It's not worth me going home and most likely probably regretting how I spoke to a staff. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me, or even clients, because we've all been there where we have to fire a client, or clients walk in with whatever they're going through in life and they bring the energy into the location and it's like, hey, we're here greeting you with an amazing smile, but yet you're just negative, 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 there's nothing in me that's gonna have me yelling at anyone because I'm just like, I'm not gonna give that of me to you. I'm not gonna let you walk out of here and be like, yeah, she told you. I knew it. No, you're not gonna get that from me. Yeah. So I play it in business. Be slow to anger. It's always worth it too. That you can go home and be like, I'm glad they didn't get that side of me. You sleep better. Yeah.
It's so true. And what you're saying is, I feel, is based on the experiences that you've had in childhood. Do you know what I mean? You are reversing
Hmm.
for others so that they do not go through, in a sense, of the feelings and emotions that you went through. So that's why you are ensuring that people leave happy. They got a smile on their face and they say
Hmm.
to come back, as repeat business. So I feel that what you are doing is, in a sense of, you are healed, you're forgiven, you're slow to anger, and
Hmm.
you're able to receive and to give love. And I feel that, your husband came into your life, and that is such a lovely, beautiful chapter. Your husband came
Hmm.
into your life, and what has he taught you about love?
Uh, he's very patient. My husband's very patient. He's a loyal person. When I see his relationships with other people, like even how forgiving he is. Oh my gosh, the things that he goes through. And we talk, we have these conversations, and I remember one time something happened with someone in his life on his side of, on his side with me. And I was just so angry. Ugh, should I say it? Because I'll make this person watch it too. Um,
Then don't.
let's just say someone in his life didn't give us as a couple an experience that I felt like we deserved. Um, and I felt like, and again, maybe this person, I want to be real with you, Soph.
Mm,
I'll say, so sometimes too in life, we may project our vibes, our ways on people, and then assume that because of what we've been through, it must be the reason why they're treating us that way, which is not the situation. People have their own way of thinking, obviously. So basically, in someone in his life didn't give us what I felt we deserved at the moment. And I felt like it was because maybe he knew our past, like that I didn't come from the best situation and we were working so hard. And long story short, my husband said, "You have so much hate in you. Let it go." Like they weren't even coming from that angle. And I looked at him, I'm like, "Oh, excuse me, but I swallowed it and I was like, he's right. It is coming from thinking that that person has this negative against us based off of what I've been through. And it must have took oh man, it sucks. It probably took maybe 2 years before I could see that person again and embrace them with a hug because my husband took us to their house to have dinner and the person was open. The fact that the person was open to have his wife over for dinner, I was just like, really? Because I'm thinking over here like negative, negative, negative. But that guy's he's over it. So when I went there and the hug was embraced and he initiated the hug, obviously, because I'm coming to his house. When he did that, in my head, I was like, wow, you can't hold on to things because people are living their life. I'm living my life. Uh, you can't allow something like that to hold you down. So again, with what I went through with my parents, every day moving forward, finding a new place to live, the people I've lived with, my roommates, I learned so much from my roommates too. They were saying certain comments about me to my face about what they realized what I had after I shared with them that I what I went through at home. They're like, "Well, you're saying this is what you went through, and now you're here where it's a new slate with us as roommates, but you're still bringing it in. Like, why are you bringing it in?" Like, and I appreciated people like that when they see something and they say it. So that's how I am too. I'm very real, and I appreciate if people allow me to be real. I receive them real and not be offended with what we have to say, because no one should be walking on eggshells around anyone, especially as adults, right? We can all understand and respect that someone has been through a level of trauma, but to get over trauma, um, you will only get over you'll only get through the trauma if you're dealing with people that are being real with you, you know? It's kind of like therapy. I once told someone, you can go into therapy, because I hear a lot of people that go to therapy, it doesn't work for them. Well, the reason why it doesn't work for them is because they're not being real. The therapist is only going to give you advice based off of what you share with them. But if you're holding stuff back that is the issue of the problem, then you're not going to see results, you know? So it's just be real. Yeah, so I use that too, and I don't go to therapy. Maybe one day I will, but so far right now, sugaring and massage is my therapy and being able to work with clients, right? Like and I get to share and hear stories from clients too. So hearing again the reminder of that we're not the only one dealing with whatever we're dealing with, that's always refreshing in a respectful way. And the fact that they share that with me during their massage or sugaring, that's also like a bonus of like, whoa, the trust is there, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. I respect you so much. I really do, because I know that what you have been through has been or was traumatic for you. And
Hmm.
for me to be asking you the questions, I can feel that, there's remnants there. Do you understand what I mean?
Hmm.
Because even I think about my own situation, when I talk about it, I do have to sometimes take a deep breath.
Hmm.
You understand what I mean?
And you
Like,
have to remain confident
because
that it's okay to do that too, right?
yeah, because you're going back to
Yeah.
a traumatic experience and you're reliving it again and again and again through sharing. That's why
Hmm.
I respect you so much. And I'm going to say it again, I'm thanking you for sharing with me this afternoon,
Hmm.
your morning. You understand? Part three type of thing.
Yeah.
Part three,
Yeah.
you know.
I
So,
appreciate you for having me.
mm, so
Yeah.
in terms of, your long story short, what do you want people to remember about your long story short as we wrap up?
So my time with Sophie, Sophia, um, I'm being careful with what I share because I still have my life to live. And, like you and I discussed, that's our right. We're entitled to share with what we want to share. And if for people to what they remember is ooh, trying not to get jittery. And I keep hearing Sophia in the back, and it's making me feel like this.
You're like stand up, like, yeah, I need to get up. And
It's
I'd be like,
helping me,
yes,
your
mom.
mom's voice.
Yeah. And I'd be like, yes, mom. Yes, mom.
I'm just trying to play.
Oh man.
Let me play longer. It's be the person you would have wanted when you were younger. I think that's just so important because there's a lot of young people out there that they're ashamed to share what's on their mind because adults don't approach it properly. Adults just approach it as an adult. Hold on. Adults approach it as an adult. They don't approach it in a sense of like, I was a kid too. Like I was there. Oh, I went through that. You going through that too? So it's like don't be ashamed to share, but I do urge young people, or people in general, to be careful who you share things with, because sadly, the wrong person will use it against you. And I've had that. Um, that's why I say I'm more calm now because I just kind of like sit back and watch people. You try to open up to people, and time and time again, the wrong person is listening and you think they're genuine, but they just use what they hear that you share at a vulnerable state against you. And I'm just kind of just like, really? You're doing that? I'm okay that I shared that with you, but it's just sad to know that that's what you're doing with that information, you know? So just yeah, just I don't know. I'm a hard worker. I'm always going to be a hard worker. I don't do anything for free, meaning I don't take people doing things for me for free. It's in me to always give back in some way or another. And I have a friend, and she recently said, stop feeling like you always have to give back when someone gives to you. Just embrace that they gave it to you. And I was just like, you're right, I know, but it's because of my past. So she did do something for me, and I took it. And in my head, I was still planning what I want to do back for her. And she's like, stop planning, just accept this. And so it was nice that she presented that to me because people like myself do need to hear that. Like, we can't help to want to feel like, if someone does something for me, are they expecting something back? You can't, it's hard, you're not to wonder if every time you do something is someone, if they're making an you owe me back, list, or I owe you, how you say that? I can't remember. But yeah, it's to receive things and embrace it as that. Don't feel like you owe anyone anything. Say thank you, move on, you know? Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful statement to leave for this particular episode.
I wish I could chop it up more for you.
No, I really, I'm in agreement with that because, I am a giver. I love to give. I think
Hmm.
love language is acts of service. Okay.
Hmm.
When you do something
Same.
for me, I'm like, yeah, oh my gosh, how can I, repay? Because I'm thinking, because for me, acts of service is top of the top of the top of the top of
Yes.
act of love and devotion that you could give to
Hmm.
anybody.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when
Yep.
somebody does it to me, I'm in bits. I don't even know what I'm doing for myself. I'm crying. There's snot coming out of my
Hmm.
nose and everything. I'm in bits. I'm a
Yes.
mess. Yeah. So I think, oh my gosh, how can I repay you? So it's all right. Just say thank you and accept the love that
Yes.
somebody is showing you.
Yes.
What you said there was very powerful, and yeah, thank you for sharing.
No. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me and having this moment. Yeah.
Mm. So I'm going to say thank you so much for coming on to the Long Story Short podcast. You have been an amazing guest.
Thank you for having me, Sophia, on Long Story Short.